coin carries the coat of arms of the Philippines, with the inscription 1970 year of minting, and Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Central Bank of the Philippines, which supervised coin production. The coat of arms includes the sun and stars representing Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The American bulge were already rising. The first quarter storm occurred in the same year this coin was minted. Thus, the 10 Sentimo 1970 was produced during a tense but transitional era, calm before the storm moment in Philippine history. The switch to Filipino language coins was not just cosmetic, it was a political message. It signified a new Philippine identity, breaking away from colonial dependence. The 10 Sentimo coin played a key role in daily circulation and symbolized the spread of the Filipino first economic policy. In the early 1970s, 10 Sentimo still had meaningful buying power. You could buy candies or matchsticks. It was often used in jeepney, fair change, and small-scale markets. The coin was light, easy to carry, and popular among street vendors and school children. Because it was made of aluminum, the 10 Sentimo coin was resistant to corrosion and lightweight. However, it was also easy to bend or dent, making mint-condition pieces hard to preserve. Language lessons. Students learned to count coins, recognize heroes like Baltazar, and understand Filipino currency systems using these coins. After 1972, under martial law, this coin remained in circulation. The 1970 10 Sentimo coin of the Philippines is part of the Flora and Fauna series, a transitional coin design that symbolized a new era of national pride, modernization, and self-representation in the post-colonial Philippines. Though it's a small denomination coin, it carries deep cultural, historical, and symbolic meaning. The year 1970 was a turbulent time in Philippine history. It marked the start of what historians call the first quarter storm, a period of mass student protests, social unrest, and political instability that ultimately paved the way for the declaration of martial law in 1972 by President Ferdinand Marcos. Despite this unrest, the Philippine economy was still functional, and the country was producing its own coins through the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas (BSP). There was a growing push to nationalize the country's currency and focus on symbols that reflected Filipino identity rather than colonial heritage. The obverse features the national coat of arms of the Philippines, which includes the 3 stars and the sun from the Philippine flag, ecological awareness and national pride in the country's natural resources. The use of aluminum made the coin lightweight, cheap to produce, and resistant to corrosion, which was ideal for a low-value circulating coin. During a time of economic constraint, the 197010 Sentimo was part of the Flora and Fauna series, 1969 to 1974, which replaced the English series that had been in circulation since the 1950s. This shift represented a movement away from colonial designs toward national imagery. It was part of a cultural rebranding that sought to make Filipinos feel proud of their heritage, land, and history. During the 1970s, the 10 Sentimo coin had modest purchasing power. It could buy small items like a piece of candy, matches, or be used to round off change. It was a widely circulated coin and commonly used in daily life by ordinary Filipinos. However, due to inflation over the decades, coins of this value gradually lost purchasing power and were eventually phased out of active circulation by the late 1980s and early 1990s. However, uncirculated or proof-like examples are valuable to collectors, especially those interested in. Today, the 1970 10 Sentimo coin is a symbol of an era filled with political awakening and social change, a piece of numismatic heritage connecting collectors to the Philippines, efforts in creating a truly Filipino currency identity, a reminder of the country's rich ecological heritage through the use of native flora. As a historical artifact, it stands at the crossroads of culture, politics, and nature. From its beautiful balacot tree imagery to its presence during a time of national transformation, this coin continues to tell a quiet but powerful story. The 10 Sentimo coin traces its lineage back to the early Spanish and American colonial periods when centavo denominations were first introduced. Over the decades, these small denominations played a vital role in the Filipino everyday economy, especially in transportation. Small could reduce their buying power to adapt to the changing needs of modern society, and to prevent counterfeiting. The BSP launched the new generation currency coin series in 2018, but the designs for coins like the 10 Sentimo had already been laid out by 2013. The 2013 10 Sentimo coin features a minimalist and modern design, which marked a stark departure from older, more intricate coinage. It bears the new BSP seal, which was first adopted in 2010. The denomination 10 Sentimo is inscribed clearly at the center. The words Republica NG Pilipinas in stylized pattern surrounds the image to blend nature with a modern motif. Purchasing power. It was rarely used in urban commerce, but still held practical significance in rural areas and for small-scale transactions like jeepney fares or sari-sari store pricing. The 10 Sentimo was mainly used for, while the 2013 10 Sentimo coin was produced in large quantities, making it a common coin. Some clean, uncirculated versions may attract interest from collectors today, especially in full sets of the 2013 coin denominations. Coins with minting errors such as off-center strikes, doubled images, or missing inscriptions may fetch higher prices in numismatic markets, though often overlooked due to its low value. The 201310 Sentimo coin is part of a crucial transitional period in Philippine coinage. It symbolizes the nation's attempt to modernize while preserving cultural heritage, represented by the inclusion of native flora and the use of Filipino language and symbols. The wailing orchid, about the environment and endangered species. The Philippine 10 Sentimo 2013 coin is more than just loose change. The 25 Sentimo coin has roots that go back to the Spanish colonial period, when fractional centavo coins were issued under the Spanish Filipino monetary system. In the modern republic, coins like the 25 Sentimo helped bridge daily commerce needs, especially in smaller transactions and public transport. The 2014 version of the 25 Sentimo continues the BSP design first issued in 1995. The obverse side features the BSP logo, which symbolizes economic stability and national development. This design replaced the portraits of Filipino heroes used in earlier generations, reflecting the government's aim to highlight institutional progress. The shift to copper-plated steel was not just aesthetic, it was cost-effective and durable, aligning with BSP's goal of reducing minting costs and ensuring coin longevity. The reverse side bears the denomination 25 Sentimo, along with the year 2014, and Republica NG Pilipinas. The coin's simplicity, lightweight design, and clear value marking made it highly functional in daily Filipino transactions, though not minted in as large quantities as 1 peso or 5 peso coins. The 25 Sentimo coin remained an essential part of change-making. It helped maintain the pricing structure in retail stores and small vendors across the archipelago. Despite its small value, the 25 Sentimo coin is a symbol of microeconomics used in sari-sari stores, public markets, and jeepney fares. In 2014, the Philippine economy was in a phase of steady growth, and these coins were vital for exact payments during inflation control efforts. While the coin holds minimal face value, some pieces, especially uncirculated or error coins, may interest collectors. For instance, coins with off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned lettering from 2014 have been noted to fetch more than face value online. The coin is widely used in schools for teaching children the value of money, savings, and mathematics. BSP coin savings programs often distribute these coins in starter piggy banks to encourage responsible financial habits among students. The 2014 25 Sentimo was a coin forms part of the BSP series, which ran from 1995 until 2017, before being replaced by the new generation currency coin series. Let's dive into its full historical context and characteristics. The BSP series was launched in 1995 after the creation of the Banco Central NG Pilipinas in 1993, following the passage of Republic Act No. 7653. The 1 Piso coin became a key unit of currency, used widely in everyday transactions. Features the profile of José Rizal, the Philippine national hero. Republica NG Pilipinas, Republic of the Philippine. The used in earlier coins such as copper-nickel. Before the BSP series, the Flora and Fauna series was in circulation. The shift to a new design reflected a modernizing country seeking simpler, more practical coinage, both in aesthetics and production cost. José Rizal, the face of the 1 Piso coin since the 1970s, is a powerful national symbol, a polymath, reformist, and martyr whose execution in 1896 ignited the Philippine Revolution. His placement on the coin underlines national pride and the value of education, reform, and intellectual freedom. The 1 Piso coin was and still is the most used coin in everyday transaction, from jeepney fares to sari-sari store purchases. The 2010 issue was part of widespread circulation and could be found across the archipelago, while the 2010 1 Piso coin had limited visible security features. Its specific composition and minting methods served as basic deterrents to counterfeiters. Its plain edge and metal characteristics helped distinguish it from similar-sized foreign coins. Though common, the 2010 1 Piso coin holds modest collector interest. Uncirculated or mint-condition pieces may fetch a small premium in numismatic circles, especially when bundled in complete BSP Series sets. In 2018, the Banco Central NG Pilipinas introduced the NGC coin series, gradually replacing older BSP coins. The new 1 Piso coin featured the Philippine whaling flower, different size and metallic composition, reeded edge, and enhanced aesthetic details. The 2010 Philippine 1 Piso coin represents a period in the country's economic history marked by stability, modernization, and a drive for the peso was gaining stability against the US dollar. During this time, the 1 Piso coin played an essential role in microtransactions and day-to-day trade, especially among the working class. Millions of 1 Piso coins were minted and circulated across the Philippines in 2010. This coin was used daily by vendors, jeepney drivers, students, and workers. A tricycle fare in rural towns often cost exactly 1 Piso, making this coin a staple in everyone's pocket. In sari-sari stores, it could buy a small sachet of shampoo or a single piece of candy, which is why children were among the biggest users of the 1 Piso coin. Unlike larger denominations or paper bills, the 1 Piso coin symbolized grassroots survival. In marketplaces, change was always given in Piso coins. Many Filipinos would keep these coins in small plastic containers, empty peanut butter jars, or old piggy banks. Over time, they'd collect hundreds of pesos, enough to pay utility bills, school fees, or buy basic groceries. In many true stories shared online and in communities, 1 Piso coins were often used to teach children savings habits. One such story comes from a mother in Bulacan who taught her children to save every 1 Piso coin they received from school or as allowance. After a year, they gathered over 1,000 pesos, which was used to buy school supplies. Interestingly, the 1 Piso coin was often confused with Thai baht and US quarter dollars in some vending machines and coin-operated devices abroad. In fact, stories circulated that the Philippine Piso coin could trick machines in Hong Kong and Singapore, which is why airport security and vending companies in those countries began adjusting their settings. This gave the coin a sort of international notoriety unintentionally. The 1 Piso 2010 coin was minted at the BSP Mint in Quezon City, one of the most secure and advanced mints in Southeast Asia. Minting records from that year indicate that millions of pieces were struck to meet demand for coins in circulation. These coins were distributed directly to banks, stores, transport operators, and municipalities across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, the Philippines faced a minor coin shortage, especially for small denominations. The BSP encouraged people to recirculate coins instead of hoarding them. The 1 Piso coin was particularly affected, as many were kept in jars or lost over time. This shortage led to educational campaigns urging Filipinos to use and return coins regularly. There were real cases of coin smuggling and